My name is Farhan. This video will teach you how to prepare the activity-based costing system. This is question number 12 taken from 2023 paper 2 exam. Z Limited provides the following monthly information about the two products. So you are given the information for product A and product B. We are also given the overheads, which are absorbed using the activity-based costing system. Each batch requires a setup at the start of the production line. The total setup costs are £16,500 per month. We are also given the purchasing overheads of £4,600 per month and the fixed production overheads of £22,000 per month. Our requirement is to calculate the total monthly production cost of product A. So on the right hand side of the screen, you can get to see all the workings that we have done. Let's start with the first information that we are given. So we know that each batch requires a setup at the start of the production line, and the total setup costs are £16,500 per month. Okay, so you need to be careful of the wording during exam. You can see that number of units per batch are given as 150 for product A and 250 for product B. We also know the monthly production volume in units, 3,000 units for product A and 2,500 units for product B. So what we have to do is calculate the number of batches given that we know 150 units exist per batch for product A and 250 units exist per batch for product B. So you can see that if I want to find the number of batches for product A, I take the total units of 3,000 and then divide with 150 units per batch, which gives me 20 batches in total. I repeat the calculation for product B, which is the total units of 2,500 divided by 250 units per batch, which makes it 10 batches in total that are required for product B. This gives us the total number of batches to be 20 plus 10, 20 for product A and 10 for product B, which makes it 30 batches in total. We understand that the setup costs are allocated on a per batch basis. We are given the total setup costs at £16,500 per month. So if we have 30 batches in total for both product A and B combined, and you want to find the setup cost per batch, you simply divide £16,500, which are the total setup costs, divided by the total number of batches of 30. That makes it £550 as the setup cost for one batch. So we understand that product A has 100 so product A has 20 batches based on our initial calculations. And given that the setup cost per batch is £550, the total setup cost for product A should be 20 batches multiplied by £550 per batch, which makes it £11,000 in total. Now, the next thing we need to look into is the purchasing overheads, which are £4,600 per month. Although you do not have the basis of allocation that is mentioned explicitly, you can take a look into the table and you will see that we are given the number of purchase orders for product A and product B, which are 10 and 15 respectively. So how do we solve this? We are going to allocate the purchasing overheads of £4,600 based on the number of purchase orders that are relevant for each type of product that we have. So we want to first find the total number of purchase orders, which we can find by adding 10 for product A and 15 for product B. We get 25 as the total number of purchase orders. Given that the purchasing overheads are £4,600, the purchasing overhead per order can be calculated by taking £4,600 and then dividing with 25, which represents the total number of purchase orders, and you get a cost of £184 per order. So given that we know that product A has 10 purchase orders and the cost of purchasing overhead per order is £184. For product A, the total purchasing overheads is 184 multiplied by 10, which gives 1840 pounds. Then we are given information for fixed production overheads, which are 22,000 pounds per month and are absorbed per unit. So it explicitly mentions per unit. So we have total number of units for product A, which are 3,000. That's given in the table, as you can see here. And we are given the production volume for product B, which is 2,500. So the total number of units can be calculated by adding 3,000 plus 2,500, which gives us 5,500 as the total number of units. Given that the fixed production overheads are 22,000 pounds per month, that means the fixed production overhead on a per unit basis is simply calculated by taking 22,000 pounds, which are the total fixed production overheads, and then dividing it with the total number of units of 5,500, which was calculated by adding 3,000 for product A and 2,500 for product B. So once you do that, you get £4 per unit as the fixed cost, which means if I was to find the total fixed production overhead relevant to product A, I know product A production volume is 3,000 units. I just multiply 3,000 with the cost of £4 per unit that we have just derived. And that gives us £12,000 as the fixed production overhead that is allocated to product A. So now that we have all the numbers in place, we can fill in the tables that are given to us. So we are given the material costs for product A to be 7,400, which is what we have started this here with. And then we have also included the labor costs of 2,750, which is what we have taken straight from the table. Then we had setup costs, which was calculated using the activity-based costing system. So if we scroll back up to our workings, we found the product A total setup costs to be £11,000, which is what we have included here. We have also included purchasing overheads of £1,840, which is what we have calculated here using the purchasing overheads and the purchase orders. And then lastly, we had fixed overheads, which is what we have just derived, and that was £12,000, which is what we have included here. So that takes care of all the monthly production costs relevant to product A. We just simply add everything together and you should get £34,990. There is a significant chance of an activity-based costing system question showing up in the upcoming exam for paper 2. So make sure to practice them as much as possible.